teach them how to use a fucking weapon.
Yeah, don't shelter them and tell them it's gonna be okay and have them believe it. If they believe it, it's like telling them God still exists after the zombie apocalypse. If he existed during the zombie apocalypse, he's a zombie too. He would probably be the first. It may be blasphemous, but hey, it's impossible. It's an inevitability if it's a real thing to be God and then there be zombies. Everyone's gonna be a zombie soon because they outlive the living
until they deteriorate and die.
Well, yeah,
stop
eventually
existing.
They're not even gonna be able to walk. So, like their legs will rot. They might crawl for food, but that's it.
I don't know what your brother and your mother are thinking about us right now.
Probably worse things than I am. And I'm not thinking anything except for what we're talking about. Which is pretty bad, actually.
Yes.
What we're thinking about right now is like borderline psychotic.
But that's the difference between insane people and crazy people.
Yeah. Crazy people will just do it because they can. Insane people will do it because they have no choice. And if you're sane, you're one of those crazy people too. You're sane to keep your humanity during a time where humanity's no longer around.
Yes.
You have to lose all ties to humanity during zombie apocalypse because no longer do those rules apply. No longer do civil rights exist or law hold you to your place.
There's no such thing. And if you're religious, you can pretty much throw your Bible in the garbage right now.
All you can say that you believe in is what is going to happen the next day.
And sometimes you can't even count for the next day. It's the next minute.
The last second of your life, you will think back. And be completely honest with yourself. You'll be a scared little bitch, or you'll be that person who embraced their death and went out on their own terms and said no, or said no, sir, or said sir to no one. You lived life before you got infected.
Yes. And also, don't trust the government. Don't trust the government.
Mostly don't trust the government.
Mostly.
People who join the government typically have good intentions, and not all of them are bad.
Yes.
But the general population of government is going to be corrupt and out to save themselves. At your expense, I might add. They would save themselves because you are accountable.
So yeah, I mean, a regular old foot soldier or a policeman or a sheriff, like in The Walking Dead, it might just be okay. Maybe. But on a big scale?
No.
And I'm not just saying that to say that. I mean, like, legitimately, who can you trust?
It's not always going to be the government who creates these viruses and whatnot, or whatever happens to make it happen. What it's going to be is that people aren't going to be able to control what they think. They're going to immediately blame the largest entity and corporation and government they can because they're afraid to think that it's their fault. It's like they let it happen. When really it's the people who do let it happen.
Right.
These corporations, agencies, governments, entities, and powers do everything they can to keep in all these things. And if you don't think infections like these exist, you're fucking kidding yourself. It's like they have banks of all kinds of viruses, infections, and diseases in the Pentagon.
Yeah.
Underneath the Pentagon, they have every listed ever disease, virus, or infection.
Which I think is pretty goddamn stupid.
Because originally it was to make cures for everything that they could. But they also have things like the bubonic plague. They could let that loose on anyone right now.
Yeah.
But that's not zombies. I'm just saying.
But even still, if it was like a virus, that's still the same thing. You don't want people getting close to you. You see someone with the virus, shoot them in the head.
Yeah, it's true. The most mercy you can have on a zombie is kill it. It has no purpose anymore. It has no soul. It has no wants. All it has is needs. It needs to keep living.
existing. It doesn't live.
It wants to sustain its own life just because it wants to live.